This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store, Forged Irish Stout, freebets.com. Delighted to be joined with Savannah Marshall. We're here in London ahead of a big, I suppose, milestone for yourself. Your MMA debut on June the 8th in Newcastle, I suppose. How are things though? I suppose it's the new corner for yourself, a new leaf, and I suppose it's one you must be delighted for.
It is. It's new, it's different, it's exciting, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I suppose, what's it been like for yourself to, suppose, the whole process of going from having such an established boxing career to now, I suppose, trying something new in MMA, I guess?
I'm not going to lie, I totally underestimated it. I really underestimated it. I think I knew I was strong, I knew I was fit, but it's just a total different fitness. Yeah. I think doing this now, I think boxing's very cardio-based. You go in the gym, you're blasting the bags, you're sparring, you're hitting pads, and then there it's like bodily strong, like wrestling, grappling, the groundwork, things like that, and there's a lot more technique to it than I thought.
I suppose, what's it been like for yourself when you've been so established in a sport and to completely try something new? Like, obviously, I don't know how much you would have grappled before, like, or done wrestling or thrown a kick or anything like that. So, what's that been like for yourself that you've almost had to start something from the ground up when you've had such an experienced boxing career and sort of well into a combat sports career to try something new?
It's refreshing, especially. Yeah, I was undisputed super middleweight champion, but I'd boxed for a long time, 23 years, and it was just to try something new. It was, I've loved it. You think going in the same gym, doing the same routine, same combinations, just to be taught something from basics. You know, I could be on the bag and not even have to think about what I'm doing. Where here it's like, oh God, I've got to switch on, because before you know it, my arm's wrapped around my back and I'm like, ugh. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, very stimulating.
I was going to say, is there a good feeling for yourself when you are trying something new, from when you compare it to, suppose, when you start to now? There's some excitement there that that you're sort of getting better at it, I guess? Yeah,
I can see little improvements. I can see a change in my body shape, because obviously it's different types of training. My fitness, I mean, when I first went, I couldn't even, 1-2 rounds of rolling, I was blowing a gasket. Now I'm being able to do 7-8. Yeah. So it's just all these little, like you said, milestones that I'm ticking off. Some days I'll go in and think, oh, you only tapped twice there, I feel brilliant, and then literally the next day I've tapped 8 times and I've just been humbled. So it's, there's no ego, no room for ego.
I was going to say, is there something like exciting about your whole combat sports career though? Because you think about when you first started, had a lengthy amateur career, and then fighting in America, to then headlining in your own hometown in Newcastle, being undisputed champion. Now we're trying something new. Is it something that you can look back on your career and feel proud that you almost there isn't something that you didn't experience, I guess?
Yeah, 100%. I keep thinking, like, my family and friends say, what you doing this for? Like, why? And it's just, well, at least I can say I've even if I do one, at least I can say I've tried it, even if I'm terrible. I just want to be able to experience it. I'm not 22, 23 anymore. I'm 32, so it's not like I'm going to have this big healthy career where I'm building myself up. I want to go in the season, because I'm not. That's not in my plan. But yeah, it's exciting.
And when you look at, I suppose, boxing politics and MMA politics, and when you get this push from the PFL, like many other fighters in the UK have, how would you feel like it compares, I suppose, on a promotional point of view, with you being, having various different promoters in boxing, to now having a push from, I suppose, from an organisation like the PFL?
It's brilliant. They're really backing me. Don't get me wrong, I'm still with Boxer. What Boxer and Sky Sports have done for me is amazing. There with the one promotion that gave me the opportunity to headline, got me in the big fights. Although I was a world champion when I got there, no other real promotion backed me like they did. And probably because of them, this is why the PFL were interested in me. My big fight with Claressa. So big thanks to Boxer and Sky, even though I'm still a Boxer fighter. Yeah. But yeah, it's great. It's another set of eyes. It's another broadcaster. So who can say that they've got the foot in the door with Sky and the foot in the door with Zone? What fighter can say that?
I was going to say, it was, I suppose, Boxer, Hennessy, fully supportive of your move to MMA?
Yeah, Mick Hennessy, Mick and Peter worked on this, and there was times I felt like Peter was not pushing me into it, but he was like, you should try it. And when I had like my little doubts, I was thinking, I don't know about that. Yeah, you should do it, it'll be brilliant. And like I said, if it wasn't for their backing, I wouldn't be in this position.
When you look at your boxing career now, you've had big fights, and you've had top of the mountain fights, being undisputed and this and that. Do you feel like you still have a lot to? There's still a chapter there is still a chapter there in boxing. There's still a lot more to achieve.
I do, yeah. I do believe that, but at the minute, I think that you've got the lightweights, you've got the welters at the minute, where you've got Tash, Lawrence, Sandy, McCaskill, all them lot. That's exciting. At my weight, the heavyweights, I was meant to fight Shadisa Green. She was my mandatory. I'd had an operation on my hand after Franchin. Couldn't fight me mandatory, so I got stripped of the WBC. Franchin fought Shadisa. Franchin beat Shadisa, so then it's like, I've just boxed Franchin. Who really wants to see that? So there's no one there for me. There's only Claressa, and that rematch has been quite difficult to make in boxing. So it's like, well, what am I meant to do? Sit about and wait for, I don't know, someone else to move up, or another rivalry or something like that?
Completely fair enough. I did want to talk about some of the training in MMA. Obviously, I've seen you with Tom Aspinall, and his dad is one of the biggest, one of the best practitioners, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioners in the UK. So it's to learn off them and learn off Aspinall, who is obviously the interim heavyweight champion in the UFC. It's been sort of some top class learning then.
Oh, Andy is a phenomenal coach. I don't want to say his agent because I get it wrong, but I know he's either late 50s or early 60s. I can't remember, but he lays on your chest, and I swear to God, it's like 150 kilo. He's phenomenal. He's a brilliant coach, and obviously it shows in what Tom's achieved.
Well, I suppose another fighter that you are closely sort of linked with in boxing is obviously Claressa Shields. A lot of people have obviously suggested, you've had one in the amateurs, one in the professional ranks. Ideally, could we see the third one in MMA, do you think?
That is predominantly why PFL have signed me, for me to have a fight with Claressa in the cage. And if she wasn't involved in it, would I have signed up for the season or the European League? No way. The only reason why I'm interested in this is because I've got someone there who isn't a black belt in jiu-jitsu, hasn't been kicking for most of her life, isn't a wrestler. So although she's had 3 fights, she's ahead of me on that part, but it's not like she's levels above me in MMA.
Well, I suppose just as we do close this off, we've seen enough of you in the boxer ring, but I suppose what can we expect in the cage on June the 8th?
Oh, whole new Savannah Marshall. Don't be expecting roundhouse kicks or anything like that, because I'm not that advanced, but no, I'm excited, and I think it'll be a brilliant night.
Absolutely. Savannah, thank you for taking time to speak to me. Really, really good to catch up with you, and I suppose all the best for the MMA debut. Thank you. Cheers.